Okay. Good evening and welcome to the Eureka Springs CAPC meeting for October 25th, 2023, 6 p.m. Welcome everybody. Let's do roll call. Steve Holyfield.
Present.
David Avanzino.
Present.
Chris Jones.
Present.
And Chris Clifton present. Thank you. The first item is approval of minutes from September 27, 2023.
Motion to approve minutes from 7/27. Was it 7/27?
9/27.
9/27/23.
I said September. It sounded like 7, probably.
Second.
I have a motion from David Avanzino to approve September minutes, seconded by Steve Holyfield. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Chair comments. So everyone, I think, probably knows Scott has tendered his resignation, and we're much the worse for it. And I do just want to say, man, thank you so much. The first of the year, there was no one in the office except Scott, and they all left because he didn't take showers or something like that. I don't know. But no, he was the only one, and he's like standing in front of that dam with his finger in this giant hole of water, and he held it, and then he made a couple great hires, and I made a list of things, and I was trying to take a little bit of notes on this, but the biggest thing, and what I'm most thankful for, is I feel like Scott has opened the doors with a lot of people in town again for communication to start flowing between the CAPC, stakeholders, citizens, and everyone. He brought people together. Scott pushed really hard for new creative content. He got the staff in-house working on social media and some online ads and stuff. I've heard over and over that there was more activity in the auditorium this year than people can remember in a long, long time. And that's Scott and the staff. Music in the Park was just hitting all year. And there's just been better participation all across the town and the business community. And so, I personally want to give Scott a standing ovation. And we're not going to call on you to make a speech, so thank you very much. All right, let's move to approval of financials. Or financials, I guess.
I apologize for, I got the financials to you yesterday and the supporting data throughout the day. And between Danielle, I, and Caitlin, we were able to get the books closed yesterday about lunchtime. And then I started preparing the documentation and always get them to you as quickly as I can. But I try to wait until after the 20th of each month because the taxpayers have a discount up until the 20th if they remit. And if the taxes come in at that time, I try to get them on this financial statement so that it's accurate as possible. Though today I received an additional $5,000 to $6,000 more in September taxes. That would have been on this report if I'd had those receipts a day and a half ago. So keep that in mind. So for September 30th, 2023, our cash in the bank was $2,090,201.63. Under our Section A of the summary is the actual to budget for September 2023. Our actual food and beverage was $86,613. We budgeted $95,000. That is a decrease of $8,387 or 9%. Under lodging, our actual collections were $91,749. And let me say at this point, that is the highest collection for lodging for the month of September in 5 years. Moving next to that, the budget is $95,000, so we had a decrease from our budgeted projection, and the decrease was $3,251 or 3%. Total collections for September, $178,362. We budgeted $190,000. That's a decrease of $11,637 or 6%. So that, under our budget, we did our best guess as to what we thought we would achieve, but our actual numbers reflect what actually came in, excluding the $5,000 or $6,000, $7,000 that came in after I closed the budget. Our total year-to-date collections, January through September, our actual is $1,519,613. Our budget was $1,486,000 even. That's an increase of $33,613 or 2%. So overall, year-to-date, we are exceeding our budgeted projection. Under Section B, historical comparison, September 2023 to September 2022, under food and beverage for this month was $86,613, and on September 2022, $93,507. That's a decrease of $6,894 or 7%. Under lodging, September 2023, $91,749 was received, and comparing that to September of 2022, $89,391, which is an increase over those two comparison months of $2,358 or 3%. Total collections, January through September at the bottom, you're looking at $1,519,613. For from January through September of 2022, we'd collected $1,446,885. So if you compare those two, that's actually an increase of $72,728 or 5%. I sent an email to all of you today, an explanation of the budget expenditures and also expenditures regarding advertising to give you the ability to see where we are financially as we make decisions moving forward. Any questions?
Scott, was there a breakout for expenses versus profit on the Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue weekend?
I would have to create a financial to do that. And that's one of the things I want to talk about when we get ready to prepare a budget, is to talk about how I would like to reorganize the budget to give you this information you're asking. So it's going to be fund-driven as opposed to a category-driven. So if you have like marketing events, and we've approved $50,000, I think maybe $70,000, I think it's $50,000 last month, you'd be able to ask me, Scott, we approved $5,000 for this program. Show me the profit and loss on that, and I can do that. So
Okay. That's
what I want to move forward with. And I also want to talk to you guys about reorganizing the income that we received and break it down into maybe, I hate to use, let's say bars and lounges. We already do food trucks, but right now we only have two categories set up, and that's food and beverage and lodging. But I think it'd be more informative if we could break it down as I receive it.
Yeah.
That would help you guys a lot.
Okay.
That'd be great. So are you done with the financials?
I'm finished.
You done?
If you tell me I am.
No. I had a question on the very last page,
I'm listening.
D1.
Yes.
Is that delinquents?
Like, what do you mean?
People who haven't paid or something?
These are people that I need to talk to about getting current on their account.
Okay.
As of the time this was printed this morning, there was a payment received on line items 3, 4, and 7. That's why it's blacked out. So it's current.
Just curious. All right.
These individuals are maybe 45 days out, let's put it that way. It's not something that's years. It's not, it's just, it's a friendly reminder notice is really what I need to do.
Okay. I make a motion, we approve the financials presented by Mr. Barton.
I'll second.
Got a motion by Steve Holyfield to approve September financials, seconded by Chris Jones. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And now we move into Paradise's report. Michael.
Good evening, everyone.
In person.
Yeah.
I know,
Usually that little key
even though
down
I'm in
there.
person, we still got to look away. See how I work things?
I know, right?
All right. So this is the monthly report for the month of September. So we'll start with our visitor insights. This is coming from our Zardeco data. Based on the observed visitors from Zardeco, the top origin market shifted only slightly for September, with Kansas City, Missouri being number 1, Tulsa number 2, which is the same as August, and Little Rock moving up to number 3. The overall share of overnight visitors increased from 58.5% in August to 68.7% in September, whereas day trip visitation decreased from 41.4 to 31.5, so showing a fairly significant shift in more overnight stays. The observed data also shows that 66.9% of visitors stayed overnight in September, an increase from 8% from August, which showed 58.5% of visitors stayed overnight. That's great month over year over year, month over month. Top 5 market areas based on total visitor spending for September are Kansas City, Oklahoma, Wichita, Tulsa, and Little Rock. Of those, Wichita and Oklahoma show the highest average visitor spend. The top POIs have remained relatively the same month over month, with the Crescent Hotel remaining number 1, Eureka Springs Auditorium number 2, and from there.
I'll take that.
So the advertising and marketing summary, we've been doing the ongoing fulfillment of the fall and holiday campaign creative that launched on 9/18 and is set to run to the end of December. The summer media campaign ended on 9/10, and we'll be providing you guys with a wrap-up report once that's all collected. We coordinated the first influencer visit in September with Dallas Party of 2. We're in market over Labor Day, very successful. Continued planning for the 2023 influencer campaign. We actually have Brittany come in October, so that will be in the next report. Facilitation and development of estimates, creative jobs, ongoing web maintenance with the CAPC staff, conducted weekly status meetings, and continue to be available wherever needed. Public relations, proactively outreach to publications, keeping seasonality and affordable travel at the forefront of the messaging. So for fall, we pitched fall and winter travel, haunted month and travel, historic hotels, outdoor adventure, and events in Eureka Springs. Responded to some media inquiries for fall and winter getaways, haunted hotels and resorts, and romantic travel. Distributed hidden gem roundup pitch, distributed the underrated winter travel pitch, and followed up on global sleep under the stars night pitch. Just a few of the articles that were featured. So for September for 2023, the estimated impressions were there, and the estimated media value was $2,257,000. And if we look at January through September, just a great value that we've been getting with the PR. All right, we look at Adara impact for the cumulative year to date, $33,000 in hotel revenue generated. That's bookings of 145 for hotels, flight bookings at 209. The enriched data is at the bottom at 546,000, hotel bookings 2,387, with flights at 371. Year to date, the book to arrival and destination window has shortened, with the average time travelers are booking prior to arrival is now just 3 weeks. The search to booking window for flights has remained consistent at approximately 10 to 13 days, and the time period of travelers booking a flight to arrival in destination has shortened, now at 39 days. Take a look on the left, that's the top Adara Impact hotels. We have Little Rock, Tulsa, Kansas City, Fort Smith. And then on the right, we have flights with Chicago, Denver, Houston, Las Vegas, and Minneapolis. So paid media results. The summer campaign began in mid-May and ended on 9/10. Our vendors included paid search with Google, Facebook, Instagram, Expedia, Adara, DigDev, Mobile Fuse, and Spotify. The fall campaign kicked off on 9/18 with additional media launching through October, and those tactics include display banners, native ads, digital audio, e-blast, and retargeting banners, and some streaming TV. So the September performance highlights: total impressions 1.6 million, total clicks 8,000, click-through rate at 0.54, which is well above the industry average, total video views 61,000, and the video completion rate at a great 93%, which is high above the 70% for the industry average. We look at Undertone. The Undertone campaign ended on 9/10. It included interactive rich media ads that allow the users to choose their adventure, specific foodies, outdoorsies, individuals, and art lovers. This was a unique opportunity to showcase Eureka Springs in an out-of-box way and really get them to see themselves here and kind of plan out what they would do when they got here. Total impressions, about 250,000, clicks, 6,000, click-through rate 2.45, which is great, an engagement rate of 11.73. We look at Expedia. For those exposed to Expedia, Vrbo, and Hotel.com's advertising during the month of September, you can see the clicks, the click-through rate, room nights at 123, gross bookings 27,000, and return on advertising spend at 14, which is great. So the media click-through rate at 11% is well above the industry benchmark of 0.8. 123 room nights were booked, 27,000 gross bookings were generated, and I mentioned the advertising return. Facebook and Instagram paid in September. The summer campaign ended on 9/10 with 2 additional campaigns launched. The fall holiday campaign, along with the motorcycle events campaign, went live mid-September. With the addition of these 2 campaigns, there was significant growth in across post engagement, clicks, and a 62% increase in click-through rates for this month. The media team will continue to optimize these campaigns, and the ads will be updated for the upcoming months for the holiday creative. But the impressions were over 1 million, so that was an 8% decrease, but the post engagement was a 76% increase over August. The clicks was a 49% increase over August, and the click-through rate is at 2.15. That's a 62% over August, with a benchmark of 0.9. So very successful for that messaging on motorcycle. Yeah.
Can you explain the substantial increase in the click-through rate?
Can I explain?
Pardon me?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the content. I think people were really interested in learning about the event. I think they were going to it, we've been serving it to them, and they wanted to know more about the event, so they were clicking on it. Yeah. Google paid search in the month of September. The summer campaign ended on 9/10, and the fall holiday campaign launched on 9/18. The Google paid search campaign has the objective of reaching people with interest in both fall and holiday things to do in Eureka. The fall holiday campaign so far had a strong click-through rate of 24%, well over the industry benchmark of 4%. Impressions were 34,000, clicks were 7,000. Click-through rate 19%, the industry benchmark is 4, and the click-through rate is 0.28 with an industry benchmark of 154. So great value there. So yes, people are looking for things to do in the fall. They're clicking through on the ads, and that's really, and it's all, goes to the optimization that we do in the background to make sure that we're getting those ads served.
So for September, we found our niche.
Yeah, bikes in fall. Yep. That's it. Motorcycles, I should say. Paid media, Google paid search, things to do. Events, visit, food and drink, fall, and where to stay. The top performing keywords are down at the bottom that I just read. And then websites. So the overall website traffic decreased in September, likely due to the end of the summer paid media campaign ending 9/10. That would be expected. However, we saw notable increases in the average session duration of plus 7.5%, engagement rates at 11.5%, and a decrease in the bounce rate, which is good, 9.3%. Which is all in line with a shift from paid to organic traffic. Traffic source from the website saw a fairly significant increase with organic search and organic social over August, while paid search traffic decreased due to the summer campaign ending and the fall campaign launching mid-month around 9/18. The majority of the users are 35 to 54. Texas remains the top state for website visitation, with Arkansas and Missouri rising up to number 2 and number 3. Top traffic page sites included the homepage and the pillar landing page, things to do, plan your trip, with key standouts being Autumn Adventures, Scott, to your point, Eureka Springs, and the top 10 fall events in Eureka Springs pages. For events, the 2023 Witches Escape took the top spot, indicating the thematic shift towards autumn content. Of the top 20 traffic pages, those with the highest engagement rates were things to do content, especially the outdoors activity, events landing page, where to stay, with cabins being the top, and food and drink landing page. And this is just a rundown of, obviously, the homepage is going to come up first, but then we have the things to do attractions. People are looking for things to do in Eureka Springs, the events, what's happening, what can I get involved in, things to do, and then plan your trip, the autumn adventures, motorcycling, and outdoor activities round out the top. And for next steps, we're going to continue the development of the fall and holiday campaign. We have one more influencer that we're looking to bring to market, so we'll be talking to you guys about that soon. Agency to continue to provide support with requests and updates for the website as needed, and then we continue to monitor our data intelligence, look back month over month to see where the sweet spots are, what are the dials we can turn to take advantage of opportunities we see in the marketplace. So a great month all around in September. It was really great. So.
Can you go back to slide 23?
Of course. The 23 or the
20. 22 right there.
Yep.
I just want to point out to the commission that on item number 3 under events at 6.2 thousand or K, and then underneath there you've got adventures, motorcycling and so on. Those are all to the right are solid numbers. There's no variance. They're all grouped together, and we've worked really hard to drive those up, those numbers up, and that reflects the work. So I just want you to know that we're working in-house in conjunction with Paradise to create activities to get visitors to town, and they're responding to it, and that proves we're on target. So I was proud of that.
Excellent. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Is there any questions? All right.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
All right, and now it's time for public comments. Who would like to be first?
Susan.
Who wants to be? You want to
He's going to close the play.
So I just want to go, my name's Susan Harmon. I do own a business here in town. Do I have to tell you my address too? We don't do that here? Okay. All right, so I just really wanted to say thank you for allowing the ad agencies to come in today and do a presentation. It was really, really appreciated. I'm sure that you will get quite a few different people that will obviously be watching the video once it's posted. So just thank you for that. Based on a couple meetings that I've watched just recently, I just have some thoughts. So the question to you all is, what is your mission? So you should all know what your mission is, right? In my world, that's heads and beds. And in the restaurant world, it's butts and seats. That's to say it nicely, right? So how do you do that? Advertising and promotion. Who does it benefit? It benefits your collectors, it benefits the city as a whole, it benefits parks, and it ultimately benefits the residents because they have events to go to, they've got retail stores to go to, they have restaurants, etc. What happens when the CAPC collections are used for infrastructure and parks? So I've heard a lot about infrastructure and parks lately as far as money being allocated to each of them. It hurts the very organizations that you think you are helping. So it hurts the city, it hurts parks. Less advertising causes less taxes, thus causing less for everyone. So even though you may think you're helping them, you're actually hurting them by taking those advertising dollars away and giving it to them as opposed to advertising and helping them create a larger tax base. Please be careful of the decisions you make. Realize your ad agency will provide the most success if you let them do what they do best and don't micromanage them. And then the last thing I'll leave with after seeing a couple meetings is be kind to one another while you sit at this table. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other public comments? This has got to be killing Damon that he's, okay. He's not going to speak. All right, do we have any agenda updates? I think we do, maybe?
Yeah, I'd like to add one. For the Parks Commission trail maps, the last time we did that, it was a huge success, the little pocket-sized trail map. I think they actually blew through them sooner than they thought they would. So I'd like to add that to the agenda, to have them come and talk about the new trails map that's being published.
Some motion to,
Motion to add new trails map to the agenda.
Second.
got a motion by David Avanzino to add trails maps funding request to the agenda, seconded by Steve Holyfield. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Parks. Any other agenda updates? Nope. Okay.
For clarification, that trail maps funding request, that's for this meeting? Or,
I think they just want to come up and talk about the new map that's being developed.
so it's a discussion about it? not-
Correct.
Not the request.
Did we have any old business? No. Okay. Let's go straight to Parks. That would be you, Parks.
He's there somewhere.
All right, I just brought this,
Oh,
it's
good.
an old one just for reference.
Last year's.
but, Brought these.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
No, I feel like,
Yeah.
Oh, we're
it's
good.
like a meeting at the.
We can share, we
see
can
these?
share. Thank you.
No, you're good. Yeah.
Thank you, Sam, for thinking about us.
I always think about you, Scott. So as you can see, the most obvious thing is the color change. We did that, I like the color better anyway, but also that way we can differentiate between the old maps and the new maps. So the green ones will be the new ones. And if you have a blue one, it's out of date, you know, you can update it. The other major difference is the downtown map. If you look at the old one, which I brought just one copy of it because we don't have many left, you can see the downtown map is very, there's hardly anything labeled on it. So we added all the street names, did a lot of street editing. Google Maps does not get along very well with Eureka Springs, so there's a lot of small edits we had to do to make it work. These edits were actually paid for too, just FYI, I just want to throw it out there that the old Trails Committee that raised money years ago helped us for the edit part of it. So thank you to them. You also notice there's more trails on the map. Obviously, these are existing trails, not new trails that we're planning to develop. And then also on the Leatherwood map, the big thing is you'll see that on the dam, it no longer says it's closed because we just opened it today. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I was just coming to you guys today to show them to you. Also, yeah, I was kind of hoping maybe, I didn't know if I need to wait, if it is a funding request, if I need to wait to come back up and do the request, or.
Do you have any estimates on the cost of
I was
this yet?
hoping just to do 5,000 again. We might not spend it all at once. We might, you know, do just a small batch at first and then make more later whenever we're confident that the map is like 110% the way we want it. But
How many did you print?
geez, I think last time we got, it was $5,000 y'all gave and we got like 10,300, I think.
How many do you have left?
Not
Not
many.
counting what's in your.
No, I mean 500 maybe max.
Yeah, they go very quickly.
I'm sure if we, you know, dug through door panel pockets and, you know, boxes here and there, we might have 100 maybe max, but
And we'd still do the Visit Eureka Springs.
everything would be
QR
the
code.
same in that regard. Yeah, just the color would change to that green color and then also the edits to the downtown, well, to all the maps, I guess. Leatherwood didn't have many edits, but the downtown trail map is much better. I think you guys will agree.
Do we want to go ahead and turn this into a funding request or wait until the paperwork comes in?
Do we need the paperwork, Scott?
Since
I mean, I
it's
can
a-
go ahead, if you approve an amount, I can put it and reserve it for them to bring a proposal, or you can wait till next meeting. It's,
You need it now?
We don't need
What's
it
your-
now, but
yeah,
yeah, I
what's
mean, it'd be
your
nice to
timeline?
know that it'd
What's
be
your
nice to know
timeline?
that we can depend on it. Well, I'm sorry.
What's the time, what's your deadline?
We'd like to order them ASAP. We also got, just FYI, a 10% discount from Pocket Maps because it took so long in the last batch, so we should be able to get even more printed. So that's another thing to think about. We should probably get more like 12,000 this time around for the same cost.
I'd say bring the request in, and
Yeah.
next meeting we'll approve it.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Well, Steve's
Okay.
going to approve it.
Okay,
Yeah.
personally?
I'll do it.
Go write the check.
Okay, well, cool. I just wanted to show you the map and, we'll get the files downloaded to our website, so we'll have those on there too. So if you lose that copy, you can always go on the website and look at it again. So should have that done tomorrow.
Awesome.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Sam.
Sam.
So the first item after that was the ad agency selection. I don't know, we don't have the luxury of being able to talk about things until we get here, so we need to talk about it. And maybe what do y'all think? Do we wait? There's different ways we could go. You could make a motion, we could vote on it now. We could wait, if we possibly have an interim director, get their input, or we could have staff solicit stakeholder input as another data point to draw from also, and have a special meeting, or wait till next meeting, which seems like a long time. So there's lots of options.
Well, I think since our presentations were recorded and people in town will be watching it after the fact, I would like more people's input into the process before we pick something. Also, I'm confused about the cost of each agency and how that's set up, even if it's not a set amount of so-and-so, so-and-so. Is it a billing process? Is each agency different in that process? How does that work? I don't know. So I wouldn't want to make a selection till at least knew that part of it, which means more information. If we do an interim director, I think we should really need that person's input in going forward, and stuff as well. So, but a whole month from now, it seems like a long time.
Right.
Scott made the point that if we do pick someone pretty quick, that agency has a time to kind of get in place before January 1st. Of course, if we go with Paradise, they're already rolling down the river, so.
Yeah. I think you had said something about if we select an agency, then they build the package or propose a package in conjunction with the staff's recommendations, and then we would vote on that dollar amount. That would be part of the budgetary process. Now, I think that's just going to be a negotiation back and forth between the agency that we select.
Can we ask Teddy or somebody?
Teddy?
Who's the director of Paradise?
Rudy.
Michael.
Rudy, I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names.
Are you here, Teddy?
Teddy, Rudy?
He's a teddy bear. How did you guys
sorry.
do it in the past? Do you
Yeah.
mind speaking to it?
Educate us, please.
For the record, Rudy Webb with Paradise Advertising.
Yeah, I know.
Rudy
What did you
Teddy.
say?
Yeah, I know, sorry.
Yeah, so I think the question is, how can you compare agencies based on their pricing model or budget, right?
Right.
So typically how it operates, your budget is your budget. That is your role here, right, to guide the budgetary and strategy moving forward. So you all set that budget. Then it's up to the agency in order to develop a pricing model that will get the most out of that budget. And that includes, depending on what services or capabilities you're offering, public relations, social media, website, creative development, paid media, public relations, et cetera, et cetera. So, and that would be, you would want to see what the agency was able to provide. I think you're very familiar with how we operate.
Yeah.
But you all said.
Essentially, we'll still negotiate. Like if we were to pick you, I mean, last year, that's what we did. We still negotiate on some of those pieces, right?
Sure, right,
Like,
yeah.
No,
As
we
your
don't want you to
staff,
do this. we're
right,
gonna do that.
evolves, exactly.
Yeah,
You're able
so
to
that-
handle more or less in-house. Yeah, that's all part of the conversation.
But it's not like buying well, it's kind of like buying a car, but it's not. So,
That's clear. Thank you. So the bang for a buck, if we're looking at 3 different agencies, how do we
Well, I
look
think
at
you're
it and
looking at
say,
one, aren't you? I have to say.
favorite, but, but the 3, it's like, for a bang for a buck, how can we look at them and say, oh, we get more from this group,
Yeah.
more from that group, So that's part of our
I
decision
mean,
process.
I think we would end up drawing out the selection process even further, but that's.
When does our current contract end with you guys?
It's through the end of the year,
Year.
December
Through the end of the
31st.
And second question.
Yep.
One of the presentations we received today had just, I don't know a better term for it, a flat rate fee for stuff. Is that even possible in this industry?
Sure, yes.
Okay.
But part of what Scott has said in the RFP too is like, once the selection's made, you could, if you can't work it out, you haven't signed a contract, you haven't, you drop them. You say, you don't come to terms, and then you would go, then revert to your second choice.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the only thing that I would say to you all, right, I know that through changes in organizational structure, we've been delayed in some of the approval process in order to start right at the beginning of the year. It would behoove all of you to make a decision swiftly
Right.
in order to give the agency time to plan now.
Last
for
year, we put you in the
2024.
hole by 3 months,
Yep, exactly.
at
Well,
least.
what's going on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you still did great, right?
Oh, shucks.
Teddy.
He said it.
It's going to stick.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'd say if we could have a special meeting in a couple of weeks, just to make this decision, after we get input from everybody.
2 weeks?
We'll go ahead and set a meeting now.
Hold on. So in 2 weeks is the 8th. Do we need 2 weeks to solicit? Is that our main, I'm just talking, is that our main objective, is to get feedback here? Why do you say 2 weeks and maybe not a week? Or I'm certain
we're going to get feedback from, once the video
Yeah.
from today is released, my phone will ring,
yeah.
I'll get text messages. Actually, I think a week is probably enough. What do you
Okay.
think, Steve?
In try a week?
Well, a week on November 1st, HCC meets here on that night. So we can meet earlier.
Okay.
So
It'll be a special meeting, one subject, so.
say 5 o'clock on November 1st. Does that work for everybody?
That's good.
Your vote.
Did you have
doesn't
something,
count.
Danielle?
Part of Eureka is meeting at that time.
Here?
No,
Okay, well, it doesn't
but
matter.
yeah,
That's not
but
important.
yeah, some of us are supposed to be there. Okay.
You need to go where they
That work
pay
for you?
Yeah,
You? Okay. So we'll schedule that.
November 1st,
So
5 o'clock.
we're going to table ad agency selection. Any business we could have in this right now,
Is that at 5 p.m.?
5 p.m.
Okay.
Workshop.
And we'll get that, Danielle will get that out to Kim and stuff. Okay. Next item, agenda, CAPC director position. So we know Scott has resigned, and we're without a director. we've been here before, so we are experienced, you know. I believe, were you going to do it,
You're what?
interim?
Am I going to be interim director?
No? Okay. No, I'm not. Are you, Dave? No? Okay. So we do have a gentleman who has experience in this role that is volunteering to step up as interim director. I think he has been, has talked to some of us maybe. And I believe is he here?
Yeah.
So,
Back.
Mike, do you want to come up and talk to us?
Good evening, Commission. What do you want to know? Let me give you a bit of a background. I started my work in tourism probably around 2005 or 6 when I was working with the Rogers A&P Commission, which ultimately became the Rogers CBB. In 2011, I came on board here as the executive director, and I worked in the position as the director of the CAPC until April of 2019, when I decided to retire. Left on great terms, made a lot of good friends, the bank account was good, no one was clamoring for my removal at the time. It was just one of those things, and I gave like a 4-month notice. It was the day later that I got a call from the newly formed Lowell Advertising and Promotion Commission that also was seeking the help of an executive director. And I looked at Lowell and I said, well, okay, let me look at your financials. And I said, you don't need a full-time director, you need a part-time director. So they thought, well, that sounds good. So they hired me as the part-time director, and I kept that position for about 3 years. My contract was up, and they decided not to renew the contract, but in the back of their world, they decided to go ahead, and they had plans to go ahead and disband the A&P Commission anyway. So shortly thereafter, they disbanded the Lowell A&P Commission completely. The commission was created by the City Council, and it was disbanded by the City Council. Subsequently, about the same time, the Bella Vista A&P had contacted me, wanted to know if I would be interested in working in their digital media world. And as a fairly successful digital media specialist, I work for them on a contract basis. So I've been working in the basically the tourism world for quite a long time, holding jobs within A&P commissions and working basically at the behest of commissions and also for the benefit of the communities that I served for. So that's my story.
And your last name is?
My last name is Maloney,
Maloney.
M-A-L-O-N-E-Y.
Could you start right away, or does that take
Yes.
time? You could.
Yeah, I can. I live in Cave Springs, which is an hour from here. During the time that I was here as director, I did commute for some time, which is a brutal commute, I must tell you. It's 100 miles a day, but on the same token, it was okay. And it's not a particular problem to restart that journey again. It's something I would not want to do again, all over again as a commuter. I would prefer to have boots on the ground in Eureka Springs. My wife and I have previously owned a home here. We thought Eureka Springs was probably the best place on earth to also run a business, which we did part-time. We ran our ad agency out of Eureka Springs for a bit while we also maintained our office in Cave Springs. I've been in the agency business as an ad agency guy since 1980 and owned my own agency for 18 years. So, and like all agency guys, you get to a point where you're going, I think I'd like to do something different. And tourism was a good alternative for me. So I was happy to come direct to Eureka Springs. Not only did I want the account at the time, much the same way that all agencies have looked at Eureka as a shining thing within their agency profiles, but it was also a good fit for me to be here doing really what I like to do anyway.
Chris mentioned you were volunteering, so is this unpaid?
I'll volunteer for a fairly hefty fee. Yes, sir. Yeah, there's
Just clarifying question.
this volunteer business, I have worked for pro bono and I've worked for bo prono. They both want the same thing. They want it for nothing. There's no such thing.
So don't apply at Wonderoo. Is that what I get out of that?
I think the answer to the question is I'm available to start just as soon as you need someone. Yes.
Do we want to go into executive session? Do we need to have
Do we
a
need to?
discussion about a personnel matter? Or would entertain a motion?
Does the commission feel a need to go executive session for this decision?
You might want to ask me what I want.
Yeah, I was just wondering, what are the
Yeah.
salary requirements and all that, so.
Okay. Are you comfortable? What are your salary?
What am I comfortable asking for?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I made when I left here. I made
Well, so are you comfortable with what we're currently paying?
I have no idea what you're currently
Okay.
paying.
Yeah.
It's more than what you left with, I'm sure. I would think. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like a game of
We don't want
poker.
to take advantage of someone. So
I'm
it
going
seems
to ask you
fair
for
that we would-
$90,000.
Huh?
I'm going to ask you for $90,000 without
Okay, well,
benefits.
no, it's less.
Without benefits.
Okay,
I don't need your benefits.
okay. Would we like to go to executive session?
You want to?
Because if you're going to call him names, we need to go to executive session. And I'm not just looking at you, it's Chris that would do it. I'd entertain a motion to go to executive session, discuss the,
Second.
I need a motion
Motion to go into executive session
to discuss.
to discuss the hiring of an interim CAPC director.
Second.
We got a motion by David Avanzino to go into executive session to discuss the hiring of an interim CAPC director, seconded by Steve Holyfield. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn executive session.
Second.
I have a motion from David Avanzino to adjourn from executive session, seconded by Steve Holyfield. All in favor?
Aye.
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 I'd like to make a motion that we hire Mike Maloney as interim director for the CAPC at the salary of $90,000 a year.
Second.
I have a motion from Steve Holyfield that we hire Mike Maloney as interim CAPC director, the salary of $90,000 a year, seconded by David Avanzino. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We have some CAPC commissioner applications, so that's very exciting. We haven't had anyone apply in a long time. We have two. We have Colin Polk,
Yes,
is that right? Okay,
Paul.
Going up, Colin.
okay.
Hello.
Hi.
So this is your time to shine. Tell us why you want to be on CAPC.
I was asked to put in an application and thought about it and figured it. I am a business owner in town that definitely makes contributions to the CAPC. I'd like to get a little bit more involved and see what's going on a higher level. Also, I have a lot of good ideas I think that CAPC could benefit from, including reaching out to the business owners a little bit more efficiently. Also the auditorium. I feel like that's an underutilized asset that the CAPC has a part of. So there's a few changes I'd like to bring, but
Your restaurant Spring on Main.
yes.
Yeah. And you've been you're a Eureka Springs native or this area?
I'm not a Eureka
Okay.
Springs native. I moved and started working into Eureka Springs in 2009.
Okay.
I was out near Starkey Marina over there building boat docks and boat lifts for almost a decade, it feels like. And then I was running, and still am, Holiday Island Marina. That's my main gig. And then my wife and I own the Spring on Main. We just opened that 2021.
I make a motion we appoint Colin Polk to the, or nominate Colin Polk to the CAPC Commission.
Second.
I have a motion by Steve Holyfield to nominate Colin Polk as a commissioner, CAPC commissioner, seconded by David Avanzino. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now this goes to the City
City
Council for
Council.
approval.
Yep. Is Bradley Tate Green here?
Danielle, just out of curiosity, did you invite him?
You knew about it?
Okay.
He may be working. He might be working too. So
Yeah, right.
he's got a bunch of initials after his work history.
Do we want to?
I make a motion we nominate Bradley
Okay.
Tate Green to the CAPC Commission.
Second.
I have a motion by Steve Holyfield to nominate Bradley Tate Green to CAPC Commission, seconded by David Avanzino. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, moving on. The last item on the agenda is interim finance director. Scott has expressed interest or offered his services because that is a critical piece for sure as interim finance director. What's your requirement, sir?
Oh, my gosh. 90,000 a year, please.
That's a magic number.
See what you did?
I hope the paper's here. Thank you. My heart when I took this job, September 2021, I did it because I love Eureka and I want to be a part of Eureka. That's why I was a Parks and Recs Commissioner for 3 years. I was there and they had financial problems, and being an accountant since 1985, I enjoy numbers and trying to straighten out problems and being transparent with the books, and so people can make accurate business decisions. And I've always enjoyed that. So when I came here, I did a lot of work. I brought the books up to generally accepted accounting principles. They're transparent, they're accurate. I have many tourism directors from the state call me asking advice on how to set their books up. And many of you don't know that, but it's a credit for our staff and for you as a commissioner, because they recognize that. And so when you go to the next governor's conference in Jonesboro next year, you'll probably be asked about it. So that's to your credit. My job is to make you look good by having good records so that you'll be proud of what you're doing here. And I hope I've done that for you. For me to walk away from something I've worked 80 and 90 hours a week for several months, and I can't do it. I love Eureka too much. It'll always be here for me. I do want to stay in a capacity that I can help provide information for you. I will not be living here. I will be at my farm in Louisiana on a John Deere tractor, and I'm going to enjoy retirement, but I do feel like after 2.5, 3 weeks riding a tractor, I'll probably want to come back up here and do some work. So that's kind of the plan, and none of us know the future. That's for sure. Things change. I would like to leave the door open in the future for me to return as a tourism director. But I think there's a time for a change now, and I don't know the reason for that. You guys are going to figure it out. I don't know. But there's a reason for this change, and I think it's temporary. But I do want to be involved. I do want to keep your books accurate and up to date so the taxpayers know where their monies are being spent. So that's my answer. So the answer is yes, I'd be interested if the commission is.
Okay, what's your pay requirement?
I told you.
Now, can the finance director position be a part-time, or is it a full-time position?
Mr. David, I've got it down to where it would probably take me 10 full days a month or to get the books caught up. If I came in and sat down, it'd take me 10 full days. Now, like I was telling someone in the audience, if something comes up, I'm going to be up here and take care of it, okay? So it's not like it's not like I don't know what's going on or I won't be available. So I want to assure you that. I'm a pre-planner. I plan ahead. Like I was talking to Nancy in Folk Fest, she's got everything ready to go for Folk Fest, but that's because we plan. It didn't happen, but we worked together and looked down the road. So if there's something, it would be an emergency that I could work with Danielle and take care of the problem until I got back up here, but it's not like it's going to be neglected, sitting there, nothing being done. I assure you that. So we'll learn as we go along.
Part-time. That's a long answer.
Yeah, and I guess my question is, going part-time, we need to discuss an hourly rate.
How did you do it before, Scott?
And that there was part-time, hourly.
Okay.
What's your requirement? What's your pay requirement?
I
Not
don't-
90,000.
He's going to divide it by 90,000.
Let me divide it, and I'm sorry, I'm being facetious here. I don't. There's so much going on. I was paid $25 an hour with no city benefits. Since I've been the director, I've not taken any city benefits because I don't need them. It saved $7,000 a year to the commission, okay? I could have taken them, but it was a waste of money. So I'm asking for $35 an hour to do the job.
Inflation.
So that's what I'm asking.
I move that we hire Scott Barden as our finance director.
Interim.
Or interim finance director?
I guess.
I don't think so. Is it interim, Scott?
Are you? I didn't know. Were you proposing interim or the position?
Let's start with interim.
Okay. I move that we hire Scott Barden as interim finance director for CAPC Commission at $35 an hour.
Second.
Got a motion by Steve Holyfield to hire Scott Barden as interim finance director at $35 an hour, seconded by David Avanzino. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott. Commissioner comments. David Avanzino.
Well, I'm hoping the rain stays away for Zombie Crawl. I know everyone's looking forward to it, but unfortunately, there's like a 100% chance on Friday and Saturday. But multiple events going around in town, including down here in the basement of the Odd. We also have, I think the Grotto, upstairs at the Grotto has a big event. Almost everybody has a big event. So just be safe out there. I don't know what their final numbers are, but they were talking thousands and thousands. So should be good for us.
Chris?
I just think it's been great to see such a great October, and the colors are beautiful, and people are happy, and we've got lots of big decisions to make, but I bet we make the right ones.
I went to the Voices of the Silent City last Saturday. That's our fundraiser for our History Museum. At the cemetery, actors dressed in period costumes talk about a character that's buried there, their history with Eureka Springs. I've gone every year. It's wonderful. They're doing it again this Friday, Saturday. I encourage everybody to attend. It's a great production and for a good cause.
I want to thank Mike Maloney and Scott Barden, two individuals who obviously care about Eureka, that have a lot of experience working in the past and are stepping up to help us, frankly, and I appreciate that. And then I want to thank Jack Moyer's team for, and Randy, getting parks commissioners here for a tour to see Eureka. The feedback from the commissioners was it's one of the best they've ever been on. And they were really, really impressed with Eureka, so fantastic. That's all I got.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Got a motion from Steve Holyfield to adjourn, seconded by David Avanzino. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, we're going to